Hello, happy traders. How are you all doing on this Friday? Today, of course, is November 12th, 2021, and welcome to Stock Analysis Fridays. Okay, it's 8 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started. Before we get going, just a few administrative items. First, I want to make sure that you realize you have to like, subscribe, and share so you get notices of when we go live each Friday. And also, in order for you to participate in the chat area, you have to subscribe, of course. All right, so let me just do a quick check out there. Let's see who's out there today. Just let me know in the chat area that you can hear me okay and we got all the technology working and all that kind of good stuff. Everything should be okay. All right, good. Excellent. All right, also too, just realize, of course, that there's risks involved in trading. But without those risks, there is no opportunity. So the two really go hand in hand, and just realize that when you're making trades that nothing is guaranteed and we work in a realm of probabilities. If you want to learn more about risk control, check us out at our website using the link below. I've written several books, so if you're new to us, this is a great place to learn about what traderscoach.com is all about. A book on money management where you can implement trading strategies with money management very, very easily. And also, too, we have a variety of different forms of books on technical analysis. Now, when we look at charts today, we're going to be looking at a variety of different software tools that we use when we analyze the markets. Now, these tools are available at the traderscoach.com website. You may or may not be familiar with them, so if you want more information about the tools, just go to our website, go under software, and you can look everything up there. We have scanners, we have risk control software, and of course, we have our main software called the Applied Reality Trading System, which we use for entries and exits. And then finally, I just want to thank everybody for attending. Great to have you here. All right, let's jump into the markets. Now, go ahead and type your symbols in at any time, and I will go ahead and do the analysis on those. First thing I'm going to start out while you're doing that is I want to take a look at Gbtc. Now, Gbtc is the ETF for Bitcoin. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk on Bitcoin, and of course that's understandable. And we're going to share with you some of our thoughts on Bitcoin as well as some target zones and so forth. Before we get going, just a quick one for all you new people out here of what you're looking at here. On the top here, these are our scanners working. And we have a variety of different types that uncover bracketed markets. We look for certain pyramid trading points based on the art software, etc. And then also, too, we have an Elliott wave scanner as well. Also, too, on the left-hand side, we have a 60-minute chart, which gives us our short-term look at the markets. And then we have our daily chart, which allows us to take a look at the intermediate trend in the markets. And then finally, on the far right side, we have our weekly chart, which gives us the long-term outlook on the market. Now, when I type in a symbol, I'll be looking at these three time frames on each and every symbol. So I'll be looking at the short-term, intermediate, and long-term. And we do this because we do this for timing. It seems to get us into the markets at a better time than just looking at one chart. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, go ahead and type your symbols in. We have new people joining us right now, so go ahead and type your symbols in as soon as you get in here. And do me a favor, type them in caps, okay? Do it in caps. One of the other things I wanted to share with you is that there's some real estate ETFs as well that you can keep an eye on the real estate market with. There's a variety of different types. And for example, here is one that's pretty popular called V&Q. And what this does is it looks at the overall real estate market, and it allows you basically to buy and sell the real estate or REIT market within a situation where you could do it within your stock portfolio. The other interesting thing too is you can also look at inverse REITs, where you can actually take advantage of the market. If the real estate market tops, these particular inverse ETFs will actually increase in value. So it's a great way to hedge your bets on the real estate market as well as participate in trading the real estate market either to the upside or the downside. Now, one of the nice things about the inverse ETFs I wanted to share with you is that if you have an IRA account, you can't short the markets in that. But what you can do is take advantage of ETFs inverse. And that allows you to basically do the same thing, except you're buying that inverse. So that's allowed in IRAs. Check with your person who manages that, of course, just to be sure. All right, let's take a look at gold. That's always a good one to take a look at. And I'll type in the ETF for that, GLD. A lot of people trade that. And gold's kind of interesting. Now, we like gold overall. I'm going to share with you the overall bigger forecast on gold. So I'm going to look at the weekly chart to do that. And if you notice here, back in 2011, so this was quite a while ago, we had a wave 3 top there. Then we had a correction in the market that lasted quite a few years, and that's a wave 4. So the market came down. Now it went sideways, and now it's starting to rally again. And this, of course, is all part of wave 5. So when I talk about waves, what I'm talking about here is the Elliott wave. There are 5 waves in an Elliott wave trend, and we've been using this for a long, long time. It gives you a good roadmap of the market. And so when price behaves as expected in the Elliott wave count, that's a confirmation that we're going in certain directions based on the Elliott wave. And so we're in wave 5 now, and if we look at this indicator down here, this is a great little indicator. It's called a PTF. And it has a very high probability of accuracy. And when it's green like it is now, it's telling us that gold will make another high. So wave 5 is not over. Even though we're in it now, it's going to go up again. So that's a good sign for people in gold. However, if you're not in gold yet, what we like to do is look at the lower time frames to kind of get a clue as to when to get in. And let's take a look at this daily. So this daily is kind of interesting here. We don't want to go in until this is either green or yellow. So we're probably going to wait for a pullback. We may get one more high and a pullback to get in. So we're going to wait a little while longer to get in on this until that PTF turns either green or yellow. And I kind of think it may have a chance of turning green here pretty soon because the short-term chart is so good. Let's take a look at silver. That's our next one for today. All right, so silver is one actually that we like, and Stuart, this is for you. How's it going? All right, so let me open up the long-term chart on silver here. And this is our target range for silver. We think we've got a 3 of some degree here, a 4, and we're going into a 5. So again, great time to get in because prices are still pretty low. Put your stop way under here, and you should be good to go on that. The only way you're going to get stopped out is if we don't have a bottom in. But I think we have a bottom in, and that's exactly where you want to put your stop because you don't want to get stopped out on any volatility, right? So I think you're going to be in this one for a while. And both the daily charts and even the short-term charts are also concurring for an entry. So excellent time to get into silver. Not too late yet. All right, how about some others out there? There are some other cryptos that I usually like to look at. Let's take a look at ETHE. All right, so this is another one, and this is a crypto that has been doing really, really well. However, okay, we're starting to get up to an area here where some of the indicators are starting to turn neutral, and those indicators are the PTF across the board. They're all yellow. That's neutral. We still have pretty good momentum on the daily and really good momentum on the weekly, so that's a good sign. However, we're starting to see bearish divergence in the 60-minute chart here on the far left. Notice price is going up and momentum is coming down. So it looks to us like we're getting into a situation where we'll probably have a pullback on this leg up. So you kind of want to be careful here. And I probably would wait if you want to go into this now. I'd probably wait until that pullback completes, okay? So that's kind of one of those things I think you need to be careful about. But I like it. I think there's more highs in the scenario. I just think short term you'll probably be able to get in at a better price. All right, let's take a look at Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? All right, CODX, moving after earnings. Let's check out that. Give that a second to load here. All right, so what Kevin is saying, you see this price bar right here. All right, nice move up, okay? Nice correction down, nice move up. Let's take a look at the long-term chart and really analyze this one. So here is the actual weekly chart. And check this out. You had a big move up here earlier, right? Then you had a correction that went sideways. Now maybe with the good earnings announcements out, maybe this can start to move again into new highs. Check this out. The PTF indicating that we should exceed this top part on the next move up. So in terms of Elliott wave, maybe a 3, 4, 5, somewhere up in that area there, okay? So PTF, once again, as long as it's green, you have a high probability of exceeding the highest price in that green area. That's what that's telling. It's a great indicator for that. Key is you want to put your stop, Kevin, way under here. Give this market enough wiggle room so you don't get wiggled out of the trade, right? Now, if the market decides to take one more dump before it goes up, all right, you might get stopped out. But if we're right that this is a bottom, then this is a great place to get in. So I would say at this particular point, go ahead and think about an entry, but let's first check the lower time frames. All right, so here's the deal on the lower time frames. Again, check this out. Green PTF there, and we have a big move up on the 60. So again, I would put your stop as far down as you could. You could even wait for this owl that measures momentum to turn green, but I don't think there's anything wrong with going in now as long as you put your stop down low, okay? So I'm liking that one as well. All right, so type in symbols for me, okay? So I need the full symbol, and it has to be an ETF or a stock, okay? Let's take a look at FCEL. That's a good one to look at. Okay, this is a big lithium battery company, and really had a huge move up, and hopefully it should move back up. It really definitely retraced a long way. So this was the big move up, retracement, and here we go, all right? PTF is green. We're almost into green momentum on the long-term charts. So this is starting to pull out, all right? The pyramid's indicating that the downtrend, smack in the middle of the downtrend, is coming up now. So let's take a look at the daily chart and see what kind of help that can give us. I'm going to open this up so you can actually see it. All right, so what we want to do is make sure, if you're going to go in now, I draw these little retracements. Just in case we get some volatility in this, you want to have your stop below any type of normal fib retracement. So I suggest this pyramid trading point here is an excellent place for your stop right now. So if we get the data window here, over here, let's take a look and see what that price would be. That's going to be about $6.96. So one tick under that, $6.95 is the best place for your stop. It's pretty far away, all right? So, you know, your trade size is not going to be that large, but I'm afraid if you put it at the other pyramid here, you stand a chance of getting stopped out. So maybe an option would be a good play on this at this particular point. That's another way you could do it. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. We have bearish divergence building over here. So we're probably going to get a pullback. So you could either wait for the pullback or you could go ahead and go in now, but you'd have to have your stop really low. So I like FCEL. I think it's coming up. It would have been a better entry if you had gotten in closer to the bottom on one of these pyramids way back in here. That would have been a better place to get in because now it's getting a little extended. All right, so let's take a look at MSOS. And Stuart, this is for you as well. All right, so here's kind of another interesting thing. This one came way down as well. Not as much history as we'd like. It's pretty hard to get a really good analysis in terms of Elliott wave count and stuff when you're looking at basically an inverted V, okay, up and down. However, we do have a green PTF. So the momentum that created this move and topped here was strong enough as compared to what has happened since then that we should, when we get to the bottom here, rebound and make a higher high. So this is looking kind of a good potential because the risk to reward is so good, but it's a little early to enter now. I would wait for the owl to go green here and probably wait for a pyramid, but at the very least a green owl. All right, we have bearish divergence building in the 60s, so we may get a little volatility before this goes to give you a chance to kind of digest what's occurring here and get in maybe at a better price. But in very least case, if you get a pyramid here at some point, go ahead and go in with a green owl. So I'm liking this. I think the potential's there. Okay, I would just give it a little more time to ferment, so to speak. All right, let's take a look at GRWG here. So Thu, you're putting in a crypto there, SOLANA. Is that the symbol? Let me know, okay? All right, so again, Stuart, I think you have the software. You must be doing all the scans on green PTFs because you got one here. 3, 4. This is actually an excellent one. This is one of the best ones I've looked at today because of the fact that we have green owls on the 1 minute, on the daily rather, and the weekly. So this is looking really, really excellent. One of the best stocks for today, I think. And let's open her up here and see. All right, so you got a great PTF possibility here. Let's check a few things. Let's draw some fib retracements in here and see. All right, exceeded the fib retracement a little bit by there, but really kind of out of the territory for wave 1, so I think you're okay there. And then let's go for an extension here. And we're looking right about there. So the PTF target, which is up here, again, take the highest high in the green area, and that's the target, is smack in the wave 5 target zone. So if we draw an Elliott wave on there, it's something like this. So definitely potential here. Now you still have a very, very strong bearish owl, which measures momentum. So we're not out of the woods yet. You know, one price bar to the upside on a weekly chart does not indicate a change in trend. So we got to be careful about the entry here. Let's see if this one helps us here. This is a lot better. We got a green pyramid here, and we have a nice low here at this particular point. So that's kind of interesting. This is one where okay, you're looking pretty good. You want to put your stop as low as possible under there, and you have a red owl on the 60-second. I would wait for this owl to turn green. So you want bullish momentum on this time frame and this time frame at this particular point, because this pyramid here was stopped out. I think prices went below there and formed a new low. So you got to wait for the momentum to turn bullish, especially on the 60-minute at this point. And quite honestly, it's still a very, very bearish owl on the weekly, but I do think you may have a potential bottom in here. So it could be one of the good ones, okay? Excellent to look at that. All right, thank you for those. Let's see what else we got. Okay, ETHUSD. All right, let me get to that one. Let's go to SOL here. Thank you, Thu, for that. Check that out here. Okay, so here we are here. And what we got going on here. All right, once again, big retracement. Okay, so in the terms of Elliott wave, this retracement here was way too big to be a 4. It's probably a 2, okay? So this is going to be a 1 after this one takes off, and then this bullish hump will probably be a 3 over there. So again, very, very interesting. What I like about this one is we're having momentum turning positive here, almost positive, but look, it's increasing in depth, so I really like that one a lot. All right, so let's take a look here and see what we've got on the daily. All green, looking really good, and we have a bullish owl on the 60-minute. So yeah, I'm liking this. If you wanted to wait until this turned green, you certainly could do that, if you wanted to go in now, put your stop at the very, very bottom. Not a bad place to do it as well, especially with everything so green on the other time frames. So yeah, I'm liking this, okay? I think this is probably a good place for an entry. Just make sure you have your stop at the very, very bottom. You know, I'm really, when I talk about putting stops at the bottom, the reason for that is usually when you have a bounce off the bottom like this. Look at how many price bars in a row that bounce represented. This is a daily chart. So usually what happens is you get a retracement and then another big leg up. So if you don't put your stop at the bottom, if you try to put your stop somewhere in here, you know, if this is a 1 and this is a 2, 2 can retrace and form a double bottom here. So it's very possible to get stopped out and be right on the forecast if you don't have your stop in the right place, okay? So always try to put your stop at the bottom. Now, if you wanted to wait for a retracement and then go in, now you could do that, all right? But you may miss the move as well. So it's one of these things that getting in as early as possible is always really, really good. But, you know, if you get in late, you can always use an option, okay? You can buy an option on that. So I kind of like this one, okay? I think it's really, really excellent. But you just got to be careful where you put your stop, okay? Great. All right, let's see. ETHUSD. Ooh, I'm going to have to change my data provider for that one. Let's see what we got here. Let's go up and get some free end-of-day data on that. So I'll come back to that one in a minute, okay? We'll take a look at that. That's for Samuel. That's for you, okay? All right, excellent. Great picks here. All right, so we got to give this a second to load because when I add a new data provider, it takes a minute or so to get going. All right, so in the meantime, let's see if it's there now. In the meantime, let's try it. ETHUSD. Let's see what cooks on this. Give that a second to load. All right, so another thing that I wanted to mention here is that, you know, we're coming into the holiday season. The markets are doing really, really good. We do expect a really significant bear market occurring at some point. I kind of don't think you're going to get that until maybe end of this year, very end of this year after the holidays, or early next January. That's kind of the way it's looking at this particular point. All right, so I've got this one typed in. Let's see what happens with this. It's probably still loading some of the data. Let's see what we got. Nope, looks like it's not going to come up. All right, we'll give it another couple seconds here. All right, give me another symbol while we wait for this one. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Now, you know what we could do on this one, I think. Let's take a look at this symbol here. Let's see what happens with this. Okay, so this is ETHE, which is what you kind of want to look at, I think, Sam. Okay, so I think that actually will work out okay. So on this one here, all right, this is the one we looked at earlier, I think before you got here. And basically, you know, you missed your best entry. It's already up and away. We no longer have any green PTFs. So I'm afraid it's a little extended here. It would have been a lot better to get in earlier in this. So I think if you're interested in cryptos, all right, we kind of missed most of the best entries in a lot of the cryptos right now because actually the cryptos are getting closer to a target zone. I actually think the cryptos are going to top when the market does. So I think we're pretty close. I kind of would not go into this right now. I'd stay away from this one. It's too late, okay? All right, let's take a look at TIRY. Let's take a look at that one. See what we get on that one. And this one is for, yeah, how you doing? Give that a second to load. TIRY, is that correct? Or is it TLRY? TLRY, I think is what you want. Again, that's why I have you type it in caps because, you know, it's tiny little print. Hard to see. All right, let's try this one. TLRY. That's not coming in, I don't think, either. TLRY. Let's try that. That should fill. Give that a second. There it is. Okay, good. All right, so this one here, definitely in a bottoming sequence. Let's open up the weekly chart. All right, so we go back a couple years on this one. We had a big move up. Look, it was all the way up to what, 300? Look at that. And now it's moved back down. So now it's going sideways. All right, it's too early to get in. All right, it's still flatlining. However, don't disregard this, because I'll tell you, this is an excellent stock to put on your watch list. You want to wait for this thing to pop out of the channel. Wait for this to turn green. You got a green PTF, so it looks like the momentum that created that top was very, very strong in this. And let's take a look at the daily chart. I would wait here for a green pyramid, okay? And that's one of these things that slope up. So come next week, let's take a look at it next week. It's going to take at least a week or two, I think, before you can get some type of confirmation on entry here. But let's let it get out of this little kind of back and forth movement it's been in. On the 60, it looks like it's breaking out a little bit, but let's let it do that on the little bit more on the daily chart. The reason why I say that is we have a bearish pyramid sitting right here. So that's a resistance level that it really hasn't, because it got here and it backed off. Let me just show you this. Let me open this chart up here. Got up to the resistance level, backed off. I'd like to see some follow through on this, okay? If you get follow through, you can probably put your stop right under here. Okay? I would wait for a pyramid. If it pulls back again, you'll probably get one somewhere in there. But let's take a look at this next week. All right, it's not bad. All right, it's not a bad possibility. All right, so that is that one. And ETHE. Let's take a look at ETHE again for Sam. He wants to kind of get an idea of the Elliott wave count on that one. All right, so let's open this up here. I would say there's not enough history on the long-term chart to give you that at this particular point, because basically it flatlined and it's climbing out at this point. So if anybody can, maybe here you had a 3, 4, 5, but if that's the case, then you're already in the target range. That's about an inflection point between the high and the low at this point. So the problem is where is it going? Where is this going? Okay, if you wanted to play a breakout, this would have been the pyramid to take it on. But again, the best you could do at that particular point is to say, okay, maybe I'll get a 50% retracement. So Elliott wave, not enough history for Elliott wave on that time frame. Let's see if there is on the daily. All right, daily's a little bit more helpful, but again, we're starting to see bearish divergence. If this was a 3 of some degree, this would have been a 4. Now you're already up in the target zones. It's just too late to get in, I think, at this point. I think you got to be careful about that. And you're seeing bearish divergence now building in here. So in terms of clarity, this is poor clarity. Whenever you have poor clarity in terms of not enough history in the Elliott wave count, or it's extended and you're not really sure where the target zone is, avoid it. Okay, move on. Look for clear things. Okay, clear trades. They're a lot better. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? This is a good session today. Anybody else? I think I went through them all. All right, let's see. I'll give it another little bit of time here. All right, I think that's it. I think we got them all. All right, so listen, I want to thank everybody for coming today. Great session today. All right, great to have you here. And we're going to be showing here up every Friday. So, if we found something that has a possibility but not quite ready to enter, come next week, okay? So we can take a look at that for you again, because it might be ready by then. Okay, so every week come with a handful of stock symbols. If you're in anything and you're not sure where to put your stop, we can help you with that. But in this case here, with the market near all-time highs and getting closer and closer to a potential top, stop placement becomes very important. So don't forget that, okay? All right, folks, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Have a great week.